Athletic Bilbao are notoriously known for their Basque-only player policy and being pretty successful, only relying on players born in the Basque region to sign for the team, with some exceptions here and there. As a result, a recent brother combination has emerged involving the club mainstay Iñaki Williams and his younger wonderkid brother NICO. If you were old enough, you'd remember Iñaki being a wonderkid back in the FIFA 15/16 career mode days, but nowadays, times have changed drastically, with NICO emerging out of the Bilbao Youth Academy just like his brother did, playing in the under-19s and working his way up to the senior team, whilst Iñaki is now pushing 30. Now that they're both first-team starters for the club, we'll be exploring what happens when the Williams are forced to be on the same team their entire career. So if either Iñaki or NICO receives an offer and accepts, the other brother will follow them, even if that means a move away from their hometown club. We're gonna give them at least a season together at Bilbao in this sim, but after that, it's free game. Is the combination of youth and experience to be a winning formula for the Williams, or will the brother rivalries and ego get in the way of their success? It's a fascinating combination actually, considering we've only ever done this with wonder kids and not brothers at two different stages of their career. I've only just clocked that Iñaki is now considered Ghanaian in game because of his Ghana 2022 World Cup call-up. He represents the African side of his heritage, meanwhile NICO's been called up to the Spanish national team, so there's another little edge to the rivalry. 28, he's in his prime, but he still needs some training and development plans. Now, thanks to this realism mod I have in store, we have way more options than the 4 you get for the striker. We have physical play, defensive situations, set pieces, heading, attacking movement, finishing, passing. This mod offers us way more training options, and I'm gonna go for finishing just to get that 5-star weak foot. I'm just gonna go for the old reliable, the trustworthy wide playmaker just to get those 5-star skills, then we'll work on his attacking work rate. I'll be lining up in the club classic 4-4-1-1 midfield formation. Inyaki's instructions include to stay central, get in behind with his attacking runs, normal interceptions, and stay forward with his defensive support. We've pretty much got the exact same for younger NICO, however he has free roam chance creation and stay on the edge of the box for crosses. And their offensive playstyle is going to include fast build up and forward runs, which is going to favour them in attack and hopefully offer them way more chances and opportunities to get goals and assists together. For now though, let's in this first season and analyse how the brothers get on together in potentially their last campaign for their hometown club Bilbao. The Williams duo have dragged Athletic Bilbao up into 5th. That's a potential Europa League spot, avoiding the top 4 by 4 points. Barcelona take home the league title in a 2-horse race. I think that's pretty decent, a respectable farewell, as they couldn't replicate that success in the Copa de España, losing out to Espanyol 1-0 in the round of 16. And domestic football was all they had to focus on because they weren't involved in Europe whatsoever. It came to some quick thinking mid-season that I actually made a second team sheet titled the Williams duo, deploying them in a 4-1-2-3 with them to kind of, dominating that right-hand side. It's a bit more proactive, involving the homegrown talent Spanish striker Torres up front, but let's take a look and see how they performed this season, and it was a farewell to remember as the captain with the Basque flag on the armband. 18 goals and 6 assists for Iñaki Williams, no growth or decline whatsoever. Meanwhile, his brother absolutely tearing it up with a +4 to his overall, now in the 80s, standing at an 81. His rating has increased drastically. You love to see it. Not only that, but 14 assists. He's a little playmaker too. That's 30 goal contributions compared to Inyaki's 24. His strike partner Gorka Cruzeta did steal a few of the goals off him, 14. They did form a little decent strike partnership, but the Williams were the two players mainly running the show. I changed up Inyaki's development plan to mobile striker, trying to get that 5-star skill moves. Meanwhile, his little bro achieved that with ease, getting 5-star skill moves with that wide playmaker plan we switched to. They've both got traits in abundance too, so we don't really have to worry about that side of their game. With the flair, speed, dribbler, and outside the foot shot, NICO has all the ingredients and all the abilities in the locker to become a top player in world football, as he is the 3rd most valuable player on the roster, now standing with a £37 million price tag and 89% boost, as Iñaki has got himself a 13% boost, currently maintaining a £25.5 million price tag. Now, I said it with my chest that it was their last dance at Bilbao, however, no contracts or no transfers have been sent our way. It was just pure speculation that some big clubs are going to come and offer in for one of them. For all we know, they could be looking at another year in red and white. Let's just make things official here. We're placing them on the transfer list. They are both up for sale. It's first in, best dressed. Whoever gets an offer first, that's where they're both going to go. I know it's a controversial move, putting them both up for sale, and especially the club captain, but it's going to throw a bit of spice into this career sim, trust me. In case you're wondering, for their second campaign together, whether they stay or go, we're going to apply the wide midfielder development plan plan to NICO, doing our best effort to get that high attacking work rate, and for Iñaki, we are going to switch up to poacher. Now, it hasn't taken long for some clubs to pique their interest at the Williams brothers, and they both have 2 offers on the table. NICO has got one from Inter. They've put in a bid for £44.4 million. However, the more intriguing deal on the table, little less lucrative, £27.2 million for Iñaki Williams coming over from Manchester United. This one's been racking my brain a bit because I want to give Iñaki a time in the Premier League before he gets too old. I want him to play in England before he hangs up the boots, so we're going to accept that offer. And of course, as proceedings allow, NICO will be following in his footsteps. It's a sad day for athletic Bilbao fans, not only in Basque country, but all across the world, as their hometown hero from day one, Iñaki, who had one of the biggest records in La Liga history, playing a game every single week straight for like 6 years or something. He's got a crazy record to his name, but it's time now to finally say farewell as he's packing his bags to Old Trafford. The red side of Manchester is the Williams brothers' next destination. Not only that, it also means NICO's going to get a test run in the Prem in his early years of his career. He might have to sacrifice a few seasons of first team football, but we're doing what's right for his eldest brother first. And then I'm sure we can prioritise NICO in the years later down the line. We've agreed the deal, we've put pen to paper, and that's the little novelty of this career sim. This theme with the brothers, they've got to stay on the same team, they're following each other wherever they go, and the family ties are strong between these two. NICO walks through the doors at Old Trafford, so BCHD has joined them along for the ride, training them, developing them, evolving their game week in, week out, and NICO will join it for £40 million on the dot, more expensive than his older brother, but again, like I said, there is a lot more hype surrounding NICO than there is Iñaki right now. Here is how this Williams brother duo will fit into the jigsaw puzzle at Manchester United, playing in the 4-2-3-1. It's a brand new system, new formation, a new culture and league to adapt to. It's the first time for the both of them. They've played outside of Spain. Iñaki actually doesn't have to worry about any competition besides Calvert-Lewin, as he is now the highest rated striker at the club right now. Meanwhile, NICO has a bit of competition, including the likes of Anthony, Rashford, Sancho. Plus, we've applied some new instructions for them at United, such as Iñaki as staying central to get him behind with his attacking runs and stay forward. Meanwhile, NICO's pretty similar too. He's got stay forward, free roam, come short support runs, get into the box for crosses, and conservative interceptions. Now, with all the formalities and admin out the way, development plans applied, instructions all set, it's time to sim the rest of the season and their first proper stint in the Premier League. How are they going to improvise, adapt, and overcome to the English game? I guess we're going to find out. Manchester United with a new Williams-led revolution coming through in 4th. They do qualify for Champions League, gathering 82 points, but we're 10 points away from the title winners on the final day, Liverpool. They take home the trophy with 92 points. I guess they fared well enough. We'll see how much the Williams brothers had to do with it, as over in the FA Cup, they were knocked out in round 6 to crosstown rivals Man City. The Carabao Cup also saw similar disappointment, this time with elimination in the final, making it all the way to Wembley and losing out in the Manchester derby 2-1. 2-1 seemed to be the fatal scoreline for the Williams this year, as they lost out in the UEFA Super Cup. They arrived just before this game happened, so this was their debut. They won the Europa League last year, came up against PSG, and just weren't good enough. It was a European disaster class for the Red Devils, as they couldn't even make it out of the group in a pretty easy one. Group E, seeing Marseille and Leverkusen pip them out, they were relegated to the Europa, and still disappointed in that, losing out 4-3 on penalties to Real Sociedad after it finished 3-3, and that ended their European campaigns. Euro 2024 is happening as we transition into Season 3, as only one of the brothers will be participating in this tournament. NICO to be representing Spain, or at least he's eligible to. They've been drawn into Group A alongside Germany, Northern Ireland, and Denmark. Enough with the team performances, let's see how they did as a duo on an individual basis. And here at United, with a roster of 40, it was actually Iñaki Williams who was the club top goal scorer. We gave him a crucial first team role, we gifted in the number 9, and it didn't fail under the pressure. He converted some goals at the Stretford end with 21 and 1 assist, 22 goal contributions in 52 appearances, and getting himself a 7.47 average match rating, which is actually pretty good. Those performances actually granted him a +1 boost, and that is probably the last growth we're going to see for the entirety of his career, now standing at an 82, but it wasn't enough to pip out his younger brother NICO, as his +2 sent him to an 83. It was 19 goals and 9 assists for the 21-year-old, with 28 goal contributions. That's absolutely outstanding. 45 appearances as well, with an average match rating of 7.31. They didn't crusade alone, as it was the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Sancho, and Rashford all in the sporting cast and crew. They aren't the most valuable assets here at the club, but they are putting in the performances like it, as NICO NICO has now got himself a £42 million price tag. Iñaki falling by the wayside and is all the way down at 30 million, but he did get himself a 20% boost. The time has come for Iñaki. Now that he's about to hit 30, we've just got to maintain him for as many years as possible in order to prevent that career mode downgrade syndrome that just haunts players after the age of 30. Altogether involved in 40 plus goals for Manchester United this season. I'll say that's a success. Season 2 is definitely on the cards. No silverware to boast about, so they're hungry for a trophy here at Old Trafford. The Williams brothers are going to get a second rodeo. They're getting a second shot at this Premier League stint. As much as I was hyping the young gun up for his Spain call-up, unfortunately, he wasn't brought up to the senior team and is not participating in Euro 2024. He's probably going to have to wait until World Cup 2026, but here is how Spain's squad is looking. The Spaniards probably not in their peak years right now, but they've still got themselves a 5-star rating, 83 rated attack. If he keeps going the way he's going, he should be able to break through. Thanks to his stellar output in his debut campaign for the Reds, we're rewarding NICO with a little bit more of a respectable squad number. He'll strip Anthony of the number 21 as he takes over that right wing spot. And when it comes to development plans and the training off the pitch, we've got inverted wide midfielder applied to NICO. Attributes in his shooting department like finishing, attack positioning, and shot power all need improvement. And for the now 30-year-old club top goal scorer Iñaki, we've placed him on one of these realism mod development plans just called finishing. It improves 4 key attributes: ball control, long shot, shot power, and finishing, so hopefully he finds the back of the net a few more times. I didn't realize there's a bit more family blood here at the club of Brandon Williams. I know probably not related, but you know, it's just fun to see more Williams join the gang. Here is our United lineup for season 3. No offers have come through for the Williams as of yet. Clubs haven't really shown their interest in them this summer, so we're free to sim another year. The Williams came oh so close to taking home the Premier League title on the last day. It was a 3-horse race between both of their bitter rivals, Liverpool and Man City. Liverpool sneaking it home by 1 point. It's a runners-up finish, 88 points for the Red Devils. The brothers still getting that Champions League qualification. As we check over at the FA Cup, it was Man City to win 3-2 in the final against Liverpool. Meanwhile, the boys were knocked out quite early on. It was a round 3 elimination to Spurs, 3-1. The Carabao Cup also showcases no domestic silverware as it was a semi-final elimination over 2 legs, 4-3 to Liverpool. However, where the Williams brothers' fortunes change is over in the Champions League, where they have a chance to win their first piece of silverware as brothers together away from Athletic Bilbao. They're up against formidable opponents in Barcelona, May 2025. Here is how they performed in the group over in Group F, getting out of it in second as they were up against Inter in the round of 16, beat them out 4-2 in aggregate, scraped by AC Milan on Paris 5-4, knocking out both Milan clubs, and then taking down Real Madrid 3-1 to book their spot in the big dance. If you're wondering, we did also change a few things up in the starting 11. We brought back the team sheet Williams duo, playing that 4-1-2-3 formation with the 2 strikers up top, Calvert-Lewin and Williams both combining, and NICO slotted in on that right-hand flank. The addition of an 89 rated Kobel in between the sticks also helped. This is the starting 11 we're going to have to put out and how we're going to have to play thanks to that Casemiro red card. Fernandez and Tonali will be the midfield combination. Meanwhile, both Williams brothers are starting. There's a first time for everything really. No domestic piece of silverware to their name, however, a chance for continental success, and it's Iñaki leading out the Red Devils tonight. Can the Ghanaian number 9 and his brother drag the club to their first European success since 2008 and also get revenge for that 2011 final? A lot is on the line tonight. The stakes are as high as possible, and the Williams have got some bad blood with Barca thanks to their Athletic Bilbao days, but Iñaki will get us kicked off. And over to Calvert-Lewin, who shifts his body across. Iñaki Williams sees his brother NICO and already causing some havoc. He's going to take a shot, and Stegen stings his gloves. What I love about playing these Champions League finals is that we get to see how they play in game together as Iñaki Williams fires another warning shot at goal. Iñaki getting involved, the captain diving for the cause, completely takes down that Barca player, and now the Williams brothers can link up. Williams Jr. here on over to Senior as he keeps on going. Iñaki, all of a sudden the Barcelona defense is opened up and he can run straight through. It's Iñaki Williams to open the scoring in the 15th minute. The older brother leading by example, and the captain taking charge of the attacking line. They're celebrating together. It was a goal made by the Williams themselves, and the Barcelona defense all over the place. They can't handle this Basque wonderkid attack. It's in fact his 8th goal of the competition, and you just know he's been firing on all fronts this season. We haven't checked the stats yet, but I'm so keen to. Oh no, here come Barcelona. Kobo has to defend at the near post there. They're hungry for an equaliser. Oh, it's Pedri inside to Lewandowski, and Kobo literally denies them of the equaliser single-handedly. Bruno Fernandes finds Iñaki Williams again in space, and the 30-year-old cuts it back, tries to find the option inside, and Ter Stegen with a bit of an unorthodox saving method there. Dembele, it's been a high-paced, high-octane opening 30 minutes. Opening half as Lisandro Martinez gets it out wide to Trippier, but they lose it out. And Ousmane Dembele, the fastest man on the planet, absolutely smashes home an equaliser. And then number 7, who I'm surprised isn't on the medical table with an injury, fires home. And Barca right before half-time get a goal back, and it has been coming. Lewandowski, and now they've found their danger man Dembele, and Kobo finds Trippier. And on this right-hand side, we're looking the most dangerous. Iñaki Williams here on the outside to NICO right before half-time. And the other brother this time, the youngest, gets on the score sheet and puts United ahead. It's a buzzer beater finish, and these brothers want this title back in blood. Absolutely astonishing link-up play there. A classic hold-up ball from Iñaki, like a target striker should. Finds his winger on the outside, and it's a sublime finish to fool Ter Stegen. And just like they did in Spain, they're scoring for fun against the Catalans, and his number should have changed to 21. But that's his 3rd Champions League goal, and potentially his most important one. Oh no, Pedri. This could be an instant response from Barca. Lisandro Martinez thought he dealt with it, but the ball fell right back to Pedri. With their first opportunity of the second half, he fires home, and at the near post, Kobo with no chance. Try win the header against De Jong, but it's not happening, and our defense all of a sudden has opened up. It's Ousmane Dembele on the charge again. Malacia trying to catch back, and it's Kobo who came out, and I didn't even tell him to come out, and it's Robert Lewandowski to get Barcelona into the lead for the first time in this game. We went 2-1 up before half-time, and the Spanish outfit have come out and scored 2 quick-fire unanswered goals. Kobo didn't put his hands up, and Williams is United and now on the back foot as Calvert-Lewin sees Iñaki over the top. Can he get there? He does, and with his pace cuts back inside the box. All of a sudden Barcelona is standing off. We try shift it out to Tonali, who strikes one from distance, and it's Ter Stegen to get a crucial palm away into Bruno Fernandes, who tries, and again Ter Stegen has to tip it over the bar. In the corner unsuccessful. It's out to Bruno Fernandes with the long shot. We've got probably one last chance as Tonali inside to NICO, and Williams can see Rashford. He's there in the middle. It's Marcus Rashford. Why didn't he go for the shot? That's it. That's it. Barcelona, they've done enough, and we're not going to have enough time. The clock is against us, and it was one final attack. It was those final moments, those clinical chances we missed. Unfortunately, Barcelona fought back in a hard-fought 3-2 victory, a 5-goal thriller in this Champions League final, and Lewandowski had the final say. The Williams brothers again lose out another title, and they still craving some silverware, these guys, and losing out the Premier League title only just now, falling at the final hurdle in the Champions League. You gotta feel for them. It's not a pretty sight to behold. United couldn't get revenge for that 2011-2009 final. It's gonna be Frank Kessie to lift it, and I've seen enough. It was a respectable performance nonetheless, and it was nice to see that both the brothers got on the score sheet, but it wasn't enough at the end of the night. It leaves a bittersweet taste in the mouth after a campaign that had such high expectations. They fumbled the bag when it matters. We're gonna take a look and see how their performances were this year. It was actually Iñaki, including his final goal, with 35 goals and 3 assists in all competitions. 38 goal contributions for the 30-year-old isn't too bad, but he did go from an 82 to an 80 overall. He must have lost an overall point in the off-season or something, but you can start to see the decline. It was some Basque brilliance though, as he managed a 7.89 average match rating. He beat out the likes of Rashford, Calvert-Lewin, and also his brother to the top goal scorer award, but NICO this time actually didn't grow whatsoever, as his growth and development has started to grind to a halt, unfortunately, though he got himself double figures in both departments, goals and assists, proving to be a little bit of a tricky playmaker on the right-hand side. The 22-year-old with 12 goals and 31 goal contributions in 44 appearances is spellbinding. He is now the 5th most valuable asset on the roster. NICO with a 29% boost, seeing his price tag now valued at £54.5 million. His older brother with that downgrade hasn't done too well for his financial value. It's a 5% loss, now listed as £23.5 million. What the future holds for these brothers with the Williams, I'm not quite sure, but the 2026 World Cup's coming up for NICO. We're going to put the feelers out there and see what other clubs are interested. I'm happy to take things abroad or try things out at a new club, or to see if the grass is greener screener on the other side. We got to make up for it and hopefully get him some trophies. It seems like the finishing development plan got Iñaki to score more goals, so I'm just going to leave it at that for Season 4. Crossing our fingers, hoping it helps him maintain his 80 overall status. Meanwhile, NICO is going to be placed on the wide playmaker. That development plan is going to suit him thanks to his game and how he just enjoys getting so many more assists than goals. Let's hope Season 25-26 turns the brothers' fortunes around. Again, it's another quiet summer on the Western Front, but here is our final roll of the dice for the Williams at United for Season 4. Their third outing at Manchester United, and here is how the team is looking with Kim Min-jae replacing Varane in centre-back, Declan Rice and Frimpong, both new additions and upgrades to the team. Meanwhile, we've converted Rashford into a striker to pair up with Iñaki up top. Now he's received a downgrade over the summer with that -1. He's into the 70s. He's going to need all the help he can get, as his younger brother with a +1 upgrade at an 84 will be his trusty right-hand man on the right flank. If this strategy ain't going to work and they're still left empty-handed after this season, I'm definitely open to listing them on the transfer market and letting the boys dictate their own destiny for a move away. There we have it then. The Premier League title still goes begging for the Williams bros at United. They come through in third with 82 points. Liverpool take home the league title with 93. It's another respectable run in the league, but there's just no silverware to celebrate about. As over in the FA Cup, it was Man City to win in the Oil Money Derby 2-0 at Wembley. Meanwhile, the boys were knocked out in round 5, this time to City again 2-1. Finally, the good news has arrived. There is something awesome to report on, as the Carabao Cup, I mean, it's the least desired trophy in English football, but at least they got a trophy celebration, winning against Liverpool, the league leaders, 4-3 on penalties. They knocked out Newcastle, Crystal Palace, and some others along the way. They get to lift up a piece of silverware together as brothers, as Red Devils is here in the Champions League. It was Group D, which saw United come through on top over in the round of 16, taking down Atletico Madrid, and then again falling at the hurdle. Barcelona knock them out in the quarterfinals, just to rub salt into the wound after last year's final. However, it's 2026, it's a World Cup year, and potentially both Iñaki brothers could be on international duty, as Ghana is in the game. They've qualified in Group D with Argentina, Portugal, and Scotland, so it's going to be a tough one. Meanwhile, Spain have been drawn into Group C a little bit easier with Austria, Ukraine, and Australia. But there you go, both brothers have been called up to their national teams. It's like we've got a double chance to see who can win the World Cup. We're not just relying on one of them, as we're going to take a look at their individual performances this season. These are the performances that got them their national team call up here, as Ghana, with Iñaki Williams, are hoping he can fire on the world stage, as he got himself 17 goals and 4 assists this year. In a 21 goal contribution campaign, he earned himself a 7.37 average match rating. However, the only downside is that he's 32, and a -2 to his overall is one hefty hit. It was inevitable really, but I wanted to delay it as much as possible. Unfortunately, Karimo does what Karimo does. On the flip side though, Nico Williams still in his wonderkid era, getting a +2 overall boost. Now the number 21 is standing at an 85 overall, an average match rating of 7.83, and he really shone with double figures in both departments, 10 goals and 26 assists, 36 goal contributions from the winger. I'm telling you, he is in his playmaker bag right now, being the main assist man at the club. They both participated the same 46 appearances each. That has risen his price tag to £56.5 million, getting a 3% boost. Meanwhile, Iñaki is far down the pecking order when it comes to market value, at least, with a 46% decrease. He's now standing at £12 million on the dot. It's all eyes on the biggest tournament in the world, as here is how Ghana is lining up. Unfortunately, Iñaki isn't leading the line. He isn't starting. He's probably going to be a super sub in off the bench. And same goes with NICO. Considered not good enough for the first starting 11, he'll be a super sub, impact sub in and off the bench. Here is how the 2026 World Cup shaped up for both of the Williams, and here for Spain, it's NICO passing with flying colours in Group C, finishing top with 9 points undefeated. Meanwhile, Ghana, we always knew it was going to be a hard one. Group D saw Argentina and Portugal advance through. They only got themselves one win, therefore eliminated from the competition, and NICO met similar fate over in the round of 16, losing out 2-1 to Portugal, who are actually the Euro 2024 champions, and the team to go on all the way is France, to then secure their third world title. They claim it 3-1 against the Netherlands in the big dance. Unfortunately for Iñaki, his time with Ghana was limited, only with one appearance off the bench, getting himself an average 6 match rating, but that's probably going to be his last major international tournament. Meanwhile, NICO for Spain still has plenty of years ahead of him and future tournaments to look forward to. He managed to get on the score sheet, get himself a goal at the World Cup in 2 appearances, so there's progression there. And yes, after 3 eventful eventful years here at Old Trafford, we've placed both the Williams boys back on the transfer list. We've already gotten in an offer over the World Cup break for Iñaki Williams. It's Chelsea though, it's another Premier League club, a direct rival. I probably really wasn't going to accept that anyway. It's not about the money though, we're here to send the message and let world football know that they're back on the market. I mean, this summer transfer market is really testing my patience here, as all the offers are coming in understandably for Nico. After Chelsea, it was Atletico Madrid, which was a move back to Spain. Didn't really care for it. I didn't entertain Bayer Leverkusen either in the Bundesliga. And then there are two direct rivals. Forget Chelsea, it was both Liverpool and Man City showing interest in Williams. I'm not going to bite the bullet though and go for the unrealistic outcome. We will be rejecting them too. Our luck has just gone from bad to worse, so I just ruled them out, going to another Premier League competitor, and then we just get bombarded with a bunch of mid clubs like Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Newcastle. These just feel like slaps in the face to the Williams brothers' legacy. We're not accepting any of them. Although we have received a deal for Iñaki over at BCHD, I feel like that would be the perfect move for the Ghanaian at this stage of his career. However, you know, Nico, he probably needs a bit more of a challenge to help evolve his game, so we're still going to be waiting and trying to manifest the right move here. Now finally, we've got some offers abroad on the table as Inter want to run it back. They had an attempt in Season 2 to lure Nico away from Bilbao. The Italian Giants have come through with a swap deal offer, £37.7 million plus Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Now after their prime years in the Premier League, let's take their talents to Serie A and see if they can dominate the Italian game. I'm surprised Iñaki even got any offers through the door, considering he's currently injured. He's torn his hip flexor and he's out for, you know, more than 2 months. Other negotiations were pretty lengthy, however, we can finally say goodbye to Iñaki Williams. He's departed Manchester United, joining Inter in that swap deal as the Turk arrives at Old Trafford. £37.7 million they got for him. Career mode's out here bugging again, showing game code, but we don't care. The younger Williams brother is out here leading the way. He's paving the way for their career, and the duo is set to take on yet another top 5 league in Europe. He's there, crowned the number 8 at the San Siro. We're following them along, so BCHD's got to orchestrate this career sim somehow and make sure they are playing on the same team week in, week out. Another challenge we're going to potentially come across with Iñaki now that he's entering his 30s is to try and prevent him from retiring and convince him to keep playing with his brother. We've only just convinced him to have an important squad role for the team, and we're going to try and elongate his career as long as possible, signing up the Basque legend on a 3-year deal for Inter with disregarding a release clause, linking up in blue and black, and hopefully they can take home a league title together before it's all over. The way Inter play their system and their formation, their whole setup they've got going on here, I think is going to benefit their game and actually really suit them. It's another new league, another new culture. The CPU have gone crazy with it in these latter stages of career mode with 44 players. The competition is immense, but here is how they both fit into the starting 11. Williams still carrying his injuries, but Nico will be on that right hand side. Iñaki has some help up top with one of the best in the game, Lautaro Martinez. They're going to form a crazy strike duo, and hopefully Williams can set them up for some big chances. For the rest of the team, the quantity is there. The quality in some areas though is lacking. We might have to sort that out behind the scenes though, because boy oh boy, they have got players in spades. We're shifting Nico back out on his wide midfielder development plan in an attempt to get acceleration, long pass, composure and ball control all upgraded. And with Iñaki right now, there is no growth to be had, just maintaining. Just look at his interception stat, it's down to 6. It's hit him hard, it's hit him like a ton of bricks. We're just trying to have a safe plan, letting his only decent area of his game, pace and acceleration, not deteriorate into nothing. With Iñaki and Nico headed into their debut Serie A campaign, I'm sure we're all keen to see what they can cook up. It's only taken the bros half a decade together in this simulation to finally win a league title, 15 years into Iñaki's professional career, and he can now say he's a league champion over here in Italy, taking home the Scudetto with Inter 98 points. It was actually a pretty tight 3-horse race between Inter, Juve and Milan. The cream does rise to the top, and a Williams-focused Inter take home the crown. Not only that, they were successful in the cup, taking home a domestic double with a 3-0 dominant display against Roma in the big dance. So far, this is the Williams' most successful season together. Not only dominating on the domestic front, but they also had European competition to deal with. Over in Group H, they were drawn up against United, Borussia Mönchengladbach and Sevilla in the Champions League. They came through in second, qualifying out to the round of 16, where they lost out 4-3 to Ajax, and what should have been a winnable fixture wasn't to be. Meanwhile, their former employers and hometown club Athletic Bilbao lose out in the Europa Conference League final to Feyenoord 3-2. So the Williams have taken it upon themselves to become fan favourites over here in Italy, and new favourites favourite sons of the San Siro, let's take a look and see how they performed in this Inter squad, as the top goal scorer was in fact Iñaki Williams. He's pretty much perfectly balanced to a T. 57 appearances, 27 goals and 25 assists. He can do it all. He can do it both. Finding the back of the net and setting up chances. It's in his DNA, as he got 52 goal contributions. This is Ballon D'Or-esque numbers. This type of production is going to get him far in life. A 7.85 for Iñaki as well, but he did go down an overall to a 76. Meanwhile, Nico got a +1 at an 87. He is now a full 11 overall points behind him, but the 32-year-old did manage 24 goals and 1 assist up front, outscoring his partner Lautaro Martinez. That doesn't say something, I don't know what will, but 42 appearances, he played less than his brother. Still 24 goals though, so something to be proud of. The old dog showing that he's still got brand new tricks to show off here in a new league. This is going to send shockwaves. It's scary for other teams in Europe, considering Nico is nowhere near his peak. Still at only 24 years of age and producing those kinds of numbers. Iñaki, on the other hand, dwindling now with a market value of £10.5 million, but as long as he's beside his brother, it doesn't seem to faze him. His younger bro currently on top of the asset list now with a price tag of £76 million. That got him a 20% increase upon last year. They're determined to take home major silverware before it's too late as we transition into season 6. They've conquered Italy, and these boys are on a mission to make up for lost times and all those close calls they had in England. The Williams family has come through with new looks for season 6, but now with 12 months left on his remaining contract, we're gonna have to hook up Nico with a brand new deal. Get him that pay rise, secure him the bag. We're getting the lads the money they deserve. In terms of development plans, like I said, for Iñaki, doesn't really matter for him, but I'm gonna switch it up to poacher just because we haven't done that one so far. He's now down to 1 interceptions, 9 stand tackle, and 3 slide tackles. Single digit attributes is actually crazy. Meanwhile, we're letting Nico cook. We're putting him back on wide playmaker. One of the development plans where he had one of his best seasons to date. Europe, watch out. I'll warn you once, as this is how the Williams era Inter are lining up for their second year at the club. Yes, Iñaki's been a bad boy and has been suspended recently. He's also received another overall downgrade to a 75, as his younger bro is looking to be a big stepper in this European game, aiming for the 90s. Meanwhile, the additions of Gavi in midfield turn this squad into a serious contender. I don't know what's come over me, but I've just now mid-season had the sudden urge to try and convert Iñaki Williams into a right winger, just to see if it affects his game whatsoever. Is it going to take him up to the 90 overalls quicker, and are more goals going to come because of it? We're going to convert him, and okay, my theory does prove correct. Now upgraded to an 89, so it's already a +2 to his rating, and we're in December. But for now, let's just continue on with the rest of the season. Just based off the numbers he put up, I was quite bullish on Iñaki Williams' Ballon D'Or hopes, or at least getting nominated in the top 4, but that's not the case here in 2027. Haaland is nowhere to be seen, and it's Phil Foden, Julian Alvarez, Mbappe, and Valverde all up for the prize. And you guessed it, it's Kylian Mbappe to take home the golden ball in 2027. Someone hit up Drizzy, because the Williams bros have gone back-to-back in Italy, 2-time Scudetto winners, and they have done so nearly invincible, 97 points, 1 win away from that Centurion mark. Juve were pretty much keeping them on their toes throughout the rest of the year, 90 points for them, finishing runners-up, but what a stellar campaign. Not only that, they had the, charity shield of Italy, the EA Sports Super Cup, with a 2-0 win over Roma. They take home a domestic double, and not only that, they have done a clean sweep in Italy, winning in a crucial Milan derby in the Coppa Italia final, 5-goal thriller, 3-2. Now the Champions League though, they were drawn into Group A alongside Spurs, Feyenoord, and Celtic. It came down to the final day to see who would claim the top spots, and it was of course our boys to come through there with 13 points, coming through against Stade Rennais in the round of 16, progressing past them 4-1. They were up against fellow Italian opposition in the quarters, breezing past Roma 4-2 on aggregate, and over in the semi-finals, they taught Manchester United a lesson. With a comfortable aggregate scoreline of 5-2, that sets up the big dance between them and Real Madrid in another Champions League final together, and of course, it's another Spanish opposition. The most successful club in Champions League history awaits them. Now, we're going to be approaching this Champions League final a little bit differently. I want to watch it play out. I want to see how the lads get along, and then if they're in trouble, we might have to jump in. Here are both your lineups for tonight's mega clash. It's the Inter with the Williams involved, as you've all come to know and love, and it's an elite Real Madrid outfit to meet them. Of course, familiar opposition thanks to their Bilbao days, but here they are. The game's kicked off. Can they redeem themselves from that 2026 final loss? We're going to find out. Just launching up a counter-attack. Real Madrid back in the box, and it's a free opportunity. It's a goal for Vinicius Jr. Didn't even take him 15 minutes. Here we go. They all come coming through. The first attack, it's Nico Williams, denied by Courtois. How did he stop that from going through? Nico again, he's setting up. Not his brother, it is Sucic for the equalizer. The number 13 gets Inter on the board, and they're back in it. The Italian domestic treble winners, they're looking for a quadruple. First time done in Italian history, and it's Nico Williams with an absolute banger 5 minutes before the half. The Spaniard slots one into the top right-hand corner as the teams go into the sheds. We might jump in soon, but I'll let the boys cook. They seem to be getting a hang of it as they nearly crack a third. If that's not a match-winning performance, I don't know what is, but now it's 2-2. Vinicius Jr. with a double, and in the 58th minute, gets Real their equalizer, and it seems to be a frantic affair. Here we go, another opportunity here, and it might be Iñaki. No, it is Sucic again to put Inter into the lead. It is goals galore in tonight's final. What is going on? Oh no, Real Madrid, Onana with a big save, and it's the third. Oh my goodness, Tchouaméni. It's a 6-goal thriller. Nah, it's coming up to the 75th minute. I ain't taking no chances. We're gonna have to jump in here. I am actually scared for this one. Real Madrid passing the ball around. It's Vinicius Jr. who's caused our defense trouble all night. Onana needs to come out and claim it, and Valverde, luckily he didn't get the contact on it. But Bastoni with a crucial interception. Nico linking up with his brother. Iñaki gives it off, and look at that pace. Look at the speed of Nico Williams, and it's Courtois who has to get a claw to it. Here we go, the subs coming on. We've got Bishkov and Mikol Olise to be the super subs and potentially lead us into extra time. And it's a 3v3 here. Real Madrid looking to win this final, and Andre Onana, the Cameroonian shot-stopping legend, pulls one out the bag and denies Real Madrid of getting a late gasp winner. We have to get this one clear. Nico back on defensive duty, and Andre Onana heads that one away. Elise with a big clearance, and that will be that. We are going into extra time and potentially penalties. Oh, Real Madrid passing it around like they are prime Barcelona, and Michael Elise has had enough, and a Ballon D'Or contender. He was a top 4 nominee in 2027. He's carrying on like a pork chop, and he's not even actually injured. The Uruguayan stands over it. Elise cops the yellow card, and we're going to have to head that one away, and here we go. Perfect counter-attacking opportunity. Lautaro Martinez has Gavi in his sights, and Real Madrid pushed everyone forward. Gavi, the former Barcelona man, has Lautaro inside him, and Lautaro Martinez gets squared the ball across and enters number 10, a dignified club legend at the San Siro. Slots home their fourth, fools Courtois, and it was a brilliant piece of play, capitalizing on Real Madrid pushing everyone forward, and the scenes here at Wembley Stadium are absolutely immense. He's a clutch, big game player. It wasn't any of the Williams, but it had to be done. A 96-minute winner, but can they hold on for the rest of extra time? That is the question. Nico Williams back on defensive duties, but it's Tchouaméni and Andre Onana. Oh my goodness me, build him a statue. Here we go, Real Madrid. They aren't backing down here. And it's Federico Valverde finding it in. And oh my god, Onana comes out again for another mega save. Intercept that into the first half of extra time. And it's Bastoni all the way out. And Andre Onana at his near post. Bishkov gets taken down by Valverde. And he's actually been given a red. Federico Valverde sent off for that nothing challenge on Bishkov. Nothing was going on, providing no threat whatsoever. Oh, here we go. Olise finds Iñaki. Iñaki could provide the game-winning assist to Lautaro Martinez, and that is that 110th minute. And the Argentine, again, the fox in the box, slots it into the bottom right-hand corner. It was a goal made by Iñaki Williams. He did the unselfish thing. He did the team thing. He wanted to secure the result. He wanted that Champions League title after all the pain it caused. Now an absolute masterclass on English soil. Bishkov now out wide to Elise, who's been a threat ever since he came on, and the icing on top of the cake would be Iñaki to get a goal, and he just got a little bit too excited. Oh, and here's Real Madrid to get one back right at the end. It's not going to mean much. It's a consolation goal, but hurry up. We just want to celebrate with this Champions League trophy. There you go. Last kick of the game, and the referee draws it to a close. Now that victory just feels so much so sweeter. It was Nico just to get on the score sheet tonight, but Iñaki with the vital assist. They were both involved in the goals to become European champions. They're lifting the Holy Grail together as brothers. What a moment. The family must be proud. They are up in the stands looking on with joy as these Basque wonder kids, now legends of the game, they win a special edition blacked out Champions League trophy. It's in dark mode at the moment. Captain Barella will get a hold of it and lift it up, but yeah, it looks weird tonight. Less silver shine on it and more of a black matte finish to the trophy, but they don't care. I'll be partying into the rest of the night with a Euros 2028 campaign to look forward to for Nico. Nico's got to do some preparing with his Spanish international duty for Euro 2024. And 9-goal thriller in potentially one of the best Champions League finals of all time. We're there to confirm it, the quadruple has been captured by the Williams. Now we can finally focus on the 2028 Euros, and it's the old-fashioned format, 4 teams in 4 groups. Group D is Spain, Portugal, Croatia, and Ireland. So a little mini group of death there. I'm not quite sure if Spain can get it out of that one. In one of Inter's most successful years in club history, winning 4 trophies. It's Iñaki Williams, the Ghanaian, still showing that he's got it in the boots. He's not hanging him up anytime soon. In 44 appearances, got himself 24 goals and 5 assists, so he's averaging more than Lautaro in less starts. Improving on last season's average match rating, he scores himself a 7.89, and with 29 goal contributions, it's only subsided to a -1 overall downgrade. We put him back on inverted winger, but that didn't stop his assist game. He's a playmaker and a half, this boy. And if after winning a quadruple and potentially seeing what he does in the Euros this year, if that doesn't get him on the Ballon D'Or watch list, I don't know what will. In 51 appearances, he got himself 47 goal contributions in 51 appearances, 13 goals, and a whopping 34 assists, with an average match rating of 8.10. He's breaking boundaries, he's banging down the door every single season, and NICO with a +4, now reaching a 91 overall, is now classified as one of the world's best. Can head into this international tournament with a market value of £103 million on the dot, a 35% boost. You love to see it, but his older brother, it's just the reality of the game, is now at £11 million, despite it actually going up from last season. Pretty much the entirety of our European contingent is off on international duty, and that includes Williams Jr. Here is how they're lining up, and he's hoping to rectify the performances of World Cup 2026. And get how they did in Euro 2028. Group D topless, Spain with 3 wins, absolutely perfect 9-point record, got them into the quarterfinals where they faced the Netherlands and scraped by with a 1-0 win, but they got the job done. And in the semis against Ukraine, they took them out 2-1 to face off with Belgium in the final. We're gonna have to take the Spain national team job just for the final to watch it play out, to simulate it, whatever we want to do. We actually want to make sure that they field their strongest starting 11 on paper, and hell, even make NICO the captain, just because we can. It's a 5-star Spain outfit. It's a dynamic 3-4-2-1 Belgian side facing a 4-3-3 holding tiki-taka Spain. This is a real test to see if NICO's got that dog in him, not only on the club level, but on the international stage for his nation. Without his brother, can he do it? Here we go. Spain's number 7 is who we're looking at, and who we're applying our focus to as he crosses inside, and already he's gotten himself an assist. It's Gavi to fire home his teammate at Inter. They're working their magic on the international scene. They didn't need any permission slips to score, as a big save coming there through from Unai Simon. Here we go, NICO. Back inside, NICO. Look at this tiki-taka play from Spain, and it's 2 just like that. Gavi, get him converted to a striker because he knows how to find the back of the net. A double for him. Did you see that intricate passing play? They are playing like prime 2010 Spain right now. Here we go, NICO through on goal. NICO goes for the shot, and he gets denied. Belgium trying to find a goal back into this contest, and that's exactly what they've gotten through Romeo Lavia. He fires them back and halves the deficit. What a time for the Belgians, and now Spain are under the pump. We're going to jump in, 12 minutes left on the clock. We've made 3 substitutions, so planning to change this game massively as Belgium are on the counter attack. Through on goal, Cucurella tries to take him down, and all of a sudden it's a big opportunity. Gavi, Ansu Fati, and our striker off. Ooh, Belgium now all of a sudden. Cucurella, what a challenge. Here we go, big header in, but it's Pau Torres to get the clearance away, deflected, and Unai Simon dealt with it. 2 minutes of added time, Spain's keeper is up for the corner, we header it away, and all of a sudden, we've got Yeremy inside to Iñaki Williams, who can just shoot from halfway, but the referee decided to put Belgium out their misery. There was a chance for NICO to belt it into an empty net with the keeper pushed all the way forward. That would have been a finish for the history books, but they're in the history books nonetheless. It's the number 7, the captain for his country, winning the quadruple with Inter in this season, and also taking home the European Championship with Spain, the pinnacle of his career so far. The top never felt so good, and he's also gonna lift up that European trophy. It's not blacked out like the Champions League final one was. They've had to wait 16 years, but here they are in 2028, and NICO Williams Jr. And it has been a campaign to tell the grandkids about, definitely. Spain, your European champions. Yet another Williams making this family name notorious around the world. Here you have it. It's Pedri in the the press conference room showcasing the trophy off. NICO nowhere to be seen. He's off partying with the missus. And the numbers, goals and assists, average match rating. This is Williams' performance summarized with 6 appearances. He played every single game, 2 goals and 3 assists, including that one in the final. 5 goal contributions in his first real major tournament since the World Cup. Now looking like a dangerous package headed to 2030 in search for their second star. For now though, we're returning to their club level as here at Inter, we're going into their 3rd season. There is no factual reason why any of these guys should go because they've been playing their best football here at the San Siro. All summer long, we haven't received any offers in for any of the Williams brothers. However, we've got the UEFA Super Cup between the Champions League winners and the Europa League winners. It's actually a Milan derby, and you can really start to see who the A side is here at the San Siro. I thought it'd be a fun one to watch play out. Just in a little quick sim, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but we do win on penalties with NICO missing his. It was Iñaki who made it 1-0, Cunha with the equalizer, Teo Hernandez red card. What a chaotic game. It's just another piece of silverware the Williams brothers can add to their collection as a duo. It was a real family effort, a team effort in this one. Potentially the madman could be up for a Ballon d'Or here in 2028, so we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. We're keeping him on inverted winger, his development plan. We're keeping Iñaki on mobile striker. Here we are then, 2028's Player of the Year nominations. The Ballon d'Or top 4 is here, and we've got a couple of Inter favourites in here finally getting their flowers, like Lautaro Martinez, Cancellieri, and of course the man himself, Iñaki Williams. They're all up against Kylian Mbappe, who's won the Ballon d'Or God knows how many times now. I don't know what would be worse, Mbappe winning it or one of his teammates taking the spotlight off him. Man, taking home the Ballon d'Or. The golden ball goes to the Williams family right here. The Spaniard, I think it was that Euros final win that really tipped him over the edge. Now 26-year-old approaching his prime, takes home the first Ballon d'Or of his career. What a scene. You love to see it. He's in his element, and at Inter he has really flourished and transitioned into an absolute monster. The Williams boys have made Italy their stomping ground, hitting the three-peat with the Scudetto, winning it 3 years running. It has been nothing but utter dominance on top of the tree. Juventus pushed them, so did their crosstown rivals, but that was that. Another league title goes to them, and they also did take home the EA Sports Super Cup, which was a 4-1 win in the derby, and the Italian clean sweep was finalised. The domestic treble with a 3-2 win against Juve. I hope they've got room in the trophy cabinet to fit all these, because we did watch that one play out. However, over in the Champions League, where they couldn't take home their 5th piece of silverware, that would have just been the icing on top of the cake, as they lost out to PSG in the semis 5-3 on aggregate. So Mbappe came back for revenge against NICO after he stole the Ballon d'Or off him. They ended up finishing top of their group with 12 points alongside Porto and Man City. They did take down RB Leipzig 4-2, and in the quarterfinals progressed past Spurs. We're getting to that point in career mode where Norwich have won the Europa League 2-1 against Chelsea in the final. NICO has been taking nothing but W's. However, with Iñaki, he actually picked up a long-term injury in the last few games of the season. The Ghanaian now with a femur contusion. I've never really seen that injury before, but he's out for 3 months. His performances, though, proving otherwise. In 51 appearances, he played pretty much the entirety of the season, getting the top goal scorer award and averaging an 8.2 match rating. This man sees no bounds. He could go on till 40. By all means, is the African Ibrahimovic. He's showing no signs of slowing down with 38 goal contributions. It's like his younger brother is providing him with fuel and motivation to keep going. Meanwhile, NICO with his 57 appearances put up more Ballon d'Or numbers. He could go back to back, 23 goals and 36 assists, which is just whopping. An average 8.32 match rating, beating out his brother, also getting that 92 overall. He's standing at £98.5 million on the dot. Meanwhile, Iñaki is still holding up that 8-figure range, £10 million. It was so close to being perfect, so close to all the Infinity Stones being captured. But now, with Season 8 on the horizons, a World Cup year is upon us, and who knows, maybe one last major transfer move in the system for the boys. We'll be putting them both up for sale this summer. Yes, that's right, a Ballon d'Or winner and a 34-year-old goal machine who's actually retiring at the end of the season. 35, he's made it this far, but we're going to see if they can attract one more deal before this 2030 World Cup. We've had the first of many transfer bids arrive on our front doorstep, and first it's Chelsea, who just lost the Europa League final to Norwich, come through with £130.7 million. I don't know, I'm not feeling it. I want to play the field and see what other kind of offers come through, because I want them to be playing Champions League football, not Europa. Here we go again. It is Manchester City. Now, this would be one of the most trader moves ever, going from a United hero to Manchester City. £130.7 million. You know what? We might have started a little bit of a rivalry, a little bit of beef here with the United fans after we've decided to accept this Manchester City deal. £130.7 million for a Ballon D'Or-esque world-class quality player. Apparently, according to our transfer specialist, we could have got upmost of nearly 200 million out of him. It was first in, best dressed. We just decided to take whatever offers came our way, and if it was between Chelsea and Man City, I think Man City was the right option. It doesn't help because of his Manchester United history, or the brothers' Manchester United history as a fact. They're going to have to put their Old Trafford days behind them if they want to succeed and really get some positive momentum in the build-up towards the World Cup. Meanwhile, Sir BCHD has kicked Pep Guardiola out of the Man City hot seat. We've convinced Iñaki Williams to prolong his career and hang up the boots after the 2030 World Cup to have one last stint with his brother here at the Etihad. This goes against every single fibre of my body. I mean, I'm a United fan. We're trying to do what's best for the Williams brothers and their careers. We've brought Iñaki along for the ride, and the Williams have returned to Manchester. This time we've agreed a fee of £10 million on the dot from Inter. He will be carrying his femur contusion injury along with him back to the Premier League, but nonetheless the Ghanaian will be the Citizens' brand new number 38. They actually join a long list of aging Man City players and veterans that they still haven't sold all these years later, like Kyle Walker, Gundogan, De Bruyne, all pushing 40. Meanwhile, NICO is trying to win over the top spot as the highest rated player, Haaland, at a 94 overall. It's like UEFA have actually imposed that transfer ban on them, and they haven't been able to spend money on new players for like 10 years because this squad has literally been unchanged. You know what? I thought Williams would have had a shot defending his Ballon d'Or crown, but no, he hasn't been nominated in the top 4 players of the year. Instead, it's Mbappe, Haaland, his teammate, Lewandowski, who's probably 40 by now, and Jadon Sancho, which is just so weird. I don't really get it. And the Champions League winner, like we predicted, Mbappe is back in the hot seat, and he takes home 2029's Player of the Year award. My oh my, we did a bit of admin work behind the scenes, fixing up this City squad in the background, but I didn't realise that would make them Centurions again. The Williams brothers have come back to the Prem, and they want all the smoke, beating out their former employees to the title, and a club who was interested in NICO, Chelsea, coming through in third, only copping one loss, yes, one game away, just like they were at Inter, to being invincibles in the league, but they have come back, and it has been a joyful reunion as they claim their first Premier League title of their careers. Over in the FA Cup though, they couldn't make it all the way to the final as United beat out Spurs in the big dance, and our boys actually lost out to Spurs in the semis. It was elimination in the FA Cup, and it was elimination in the Carabao, this time at Wembley, losing out in the Manchester derby to United, so I guess the Red Devils got their revenge and had the last laugh against the Williams. Now over in the Champions League, they were actually drawn into a pretty hard group there with Juve, Salzburg, and Atletico Madrid, but they came through on top with 13 points. Over in the round of 16, they got past Monaco 4-2, and over in the quarters, destroying Inter, coming back to haunt their former side 5-2 on aggregate, and over in the semis, they couldn't progress past PSG-led Mbappe. The Parisians actually went on to win the whole thing 2-1 in the final against Bayern Munich, and it's another semi-final elimination. However, let's take a look at their own individual performances this season. It was actually Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland to outshine both of the brothers. Compelling stuff from those two Man City OGs. Meanwhile, it was Nico Williams. He actually did pick up a few injuries this season. He torn his hamstring, he had a bit of troubles. He's finally had an injury-riddled campaign, but that didn't stop him on getting an average match rating of 8.44 in 47 appearances. Managed double figures in both departments, 18 goals and 24 assists, which by his standards are not really that great, but they're still, for a normal player, just scintillating numbers. 42 goal contributions in 47 appearances. Meanwhile, Iñaki was coming back from his potential career-ending injury in 45 appearances, the Ghanaian 35-year-old with 13 goals. Now with a transfer market value of under that 9-figure club, he's standing at a price tag of $96.5 million, and his older brother now down at the bottom tiers of the roster. However, only one of them gets the privilege of representing their nation at the World Cup. It's been implemented in their starting 11 again, and they're looking to replicate that Euros 2028 success and continue on their great momentum. Meanwhile, Ghana have moved on and successfully breezed past the Williams era. And here's your look at the groups. We have Spain, the only team we're focusing on really. They've been drawn down in Group G alongside Croatia, New Zealand and Wales, so they should be topping that one with ease. Oh my days. If this isn't a golden opportunity to take home a world crown, I don't know what is. We've specifically taken over Spain, and we are up against Denmark in the 2030 World Cup final. How Williams got there, they topped the group in Group G with 7 points, making it out to the round of 16, progressing past Argentina, 2022 champions, 4-3 on penalties. They also took Italy to town with a 3-0 win, and just scraped by Portugal 2-1 in a clutch semi-final to send them through to the big dance where they meet the Danes. Man, this is his moment. This is his time again with Spain, without his brother to actually prove that he can do it, without the eldest Williams by his side. And these are the two lineups going out tonight for the biggest game in world football. Denmark have the likes of Damsgaard, Andreas Christensen at the back, Kjærgaard in the middle of the park, and Kaya on the right hand side. Viva España, baby! Can they do it again and win themselves a second world title? And that's exactly what they've gone and done. NICO didn't get on the score sheet, but Ansu Fati's double, a 79th minute winner. It was a 5-goal thriller. Spain prevailed and showcased their quality in a subpar outing for NICO in the final. That's all that matters. His nation took home the world title, got a European and world double to their name, and Ansu Fati steals the show. His numbers in the tournament though do read like this. He played every single game. He got himself a goal and 4 assists, so 5 goal contributions, which is very respectable. He just didn't showcase much in the big dance. Doing a victory lap as we say goodbye. However, thanks to Iñaki actually retiring at the end of this season, he's decided to call it quits. We're going to go one more year just to see how he does in his final campaign alongside his brother, as he's now claimed himself as one of the world's best, a world champion. How is this Iñaki-NICO combo gonna fare with one last hurrah here at Manchester City in their trusty formation, the system they know all so well? It's season 9, the Basque last dance, and here the brothers take home yet another Prem title back to back. It has just been a flourish. They've finished their career sim in an absolute dream state, and you love to see it. Over in the FA Community Shield, they did win out against United, so they got a little bit of revenge there with a little domestic double. However, the FA Cup did evade them, getting knocked out in round 6 to West Ham on penalties after it finished 3-3. The Carabao Cup wasn't really too eventful either, as it was a quarter-final elimination to Everton, and again, you guessed it, it was on penalties. The Champions League, I'm pretty sure that was the exact same final as last year. 2-1 win for PSG against Bayern Munich, but here in Group C, they were drawn up against Roma, Dortmund, and Bodo Glimt. They came through invincible on top with 6 wins, and it was Bayer Leverkusen, who has actually shown a lot of interest in Iñaki Williams over the years. I just didn't take their bid seriously. They show why they're serious European heavyweights and knock us out 2-1. It's finally time to say goodbye. We'll take a look at Iñaki in his final playing days. Here were his stats for the season, as he actually did score 11 goals in 17 appearances. Didn't play all too much as Julian Alvarez started to take over, but the Ghanaian with a respectable end to what has been a stunning and wholesome family-friendly career. I mean, him alongside NICO, he actually got himself the golden boot, 28 goals and 26 assists. He can do it all, he can do it both. 54 appearances and 54 goal contributions. Only Iñaki Williams can pull off stuff like that, and he ends off with a financial market value of £91 million on the dot. Meanwhile, the retired Iñaki ends it off at £8.5 million, and it's just stayed the same. You can kind of get a gauge of how many games and how many seasons we've simulated, playing 521 in total, winning 359 of them, drawing 84, and losing 78, scoring over 1,000 goals. It's been a successive tenure and almost a decade of career simulating with the Williams brothers, and I hope you enjoyed the ride. Winning 5 league titles, 4 domestic cups, and 1 continental cup, even a World Cup and Euros trophy in the mix. Season 9 has officially wrapped, and guys, let me know down below if you've made it all the way to the end. What are the brother career sims should we do next? Whose career did you like more? Did you love NICO's success with Spain, his mega money transfer deals, and his just outstanding goals and assists? Or would you like Iñaki's, where he became a club legend at Athletic Bilbao and then followed in his brother's footsteps wherever he went? But as always, make sure to drop the video a like down below, hit subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that good stuff. Let me know down in the comments what are the videos you want to see on the channel. Make sure to hit me up on all my socials. The links will be down in the description below. But as always, hopefully you guys have a great day. Take care of yourselves. I've been Sir BCHD, and I'll catch you all in the very next video.